Hello, you are about to take Mrs. Zody's biology first quarter pretest. Just a reminder, when you are taking this test, if you do not know a question and an answer, make sure you choose the do not know option instead of guessing. This is to see what you do know, so make sure you're not guessing on this. Okay, let's get started. So yours will look a little bit different than mine, but make sure when you are on there, you're going to type in your first name and your last name. Then you're going to choose what class period you are in. And then we're going to get ready to get started. One more thing, if I am reading too quickly, make sure you are pausing this video. You can go back if you need to and re-listen to a question. Make sure you are taking your time and using it to your advantage. Okay, here we go. All right, so this is multiple choice. Again, if you do not know a question, make sure you are choosing the do not know option. Number 1, amino acid is to protein as fat is to lipid, DNA is to RNA, monosaccharide is to starch, sugar is to fat, or I do not know. Number 2, which of the following is not a monomer? A glucose molecule, an amino acid, a nucleotide, a protein, or I do not know. Number 3, which of the following is not a function of a protein? Store and transmit genetic information, help fight disease, control the rate of reactions, move substances into or out of the cell, or I do not know. Number 4, which of the following statements concerning unsaturated fats is they are more common in animals than in plants? They have double bonds in carbon chains of their fatty acids. They are generally solid at room temperature. They contain more hydrogen than saturated fats, having the same number of carbon atoms, or I do not know. Number 5, which of the following statements about enzymes is not true? Enzymes work best at a specific pH. All enzymes have the same shape as their substrates. Enzymes are proteins. The shape of an enzyme allows it to do its job, or I do not know. Again, if you need any of those repeated, make sure you rewind the recording. If you're ready to move on, go ahead and click next, and you'll be in section 3 of 5. Number 6, which of the following elements are found in all 4 biological molecules? Sulfur, nitrogen, phosphorus, carbon, or I do not know. Number 7, cholesterol, which is part of an animal cell membrane, is what type of molecule? Carbohydrate, lipid, protein, nucleic acid, or I do not know. Number 8, Escherichia coli is the scientific name of a bacterium. What category of classification is Escherichia? Species, genus, phylum, order, or I do not know. Viruses are considered non-living organisms because they do not have DNA, they cannot reproduce on their own, they are resistant to antibiotics, they are a pathogen, or I do not know. Number 10, Information gathered from observing a plant grow 3 centimeters over a 2-week period is called inferences, variables, hypothesis, data, or I do not know. Again, if you need any of those repeated, make sure you go back in the recording and listen to them again. If not, go ahead and move to section 4. Number 11. The standard or English system of measurement uses units such as yards, miles, quarts, and gallons. The metric system uses units such as meters, kilometers, millimeters, and liters. Why is the metric system easier to use than the English system? Metric units are easier to measure than English units. The metric system is based on multiples of 10. The metric system is used by everyone in the world. Metric units are smaller than English units, or I do not know. Number 12. What group is an experiment that is used for comparison by not being exposed to the factor being tested? A control group, an experimental group, a dependent variable, an independent variable, or I do not know. Number 13. You have been injured in the lab, cut, burn, etc. First, you should visit the school nurse after class, tell the instructor immediately, see a doctor after school, apply first aid yourself, or I do not know. The process by which organisms keep everything inside their bodies within certain limits is called homeostasis, evolution, metabolism, photosynthesis, or I do not know. Number 15. Cells in molecular organisms have many different sizes and shapes. These differences in cells is called cell specialization. Cell specialization allows cell to reproduce, perform different functions, respond to their environment, be less complex, or I do not know. Again, if you need any of those repeated, go back and listen to them again. If not, go ahead and move to section 5. Number 16. Which of the following is a function of the cell membrane? Breaks down lipids, carbohydrates, proteins from food, stores water, salt, proteins, and carbohydrates, keeps the cell wall in place, regulates the movement of materials into and out of the cell, or I do not know. Number 17. An animal cell is surrounded by fresh water, will burst because the osmotic pressure causes water to move into the cell, water to move out of the cell, solutes to move into the cell, solutes to move out of the cell. This was solids to move into the cell. Next one was to move out of the cell, or I do not know. Number 18. Which list represents the levels of organization in a molecular organism from the simplest level to the most complex level? Cell, tissue, organ system, organ system, organ, tissue, cell, tissue, organ system, cell, cell, tissue, organ system, or I do not know. Number 19. Which component is present in a prokaryotic cell? Mitochondria, ribosomes, nuclear envelope, endoplasmic reticulum, or I do not know. And finally, number 20. What does PPE stand for? Personal protective equipment, private personal experimentation, personal procedure experiment, private protective equipment, or I do not know. Again, another reminder before you submit, if you need to go back and listen to any questions, please do so. Good luck.